And now for one final problem dealing with polynomials, we're going to turn it around the other way and write a polynomial equation. So it says write an equation for the polynomial function with zeros of -2 that has a multiplicity 1 and 1 that has a multiplicity 2 if the y-intercept is equal to -6. So let's see what that looks like. So first of all, we know that it's going to be a polynomial function. So let's call it f of x. Okay. And then if we have a 0 of -2, that's multiplicity is 1. What that means is the zeros are at x is equal to -2 and x is equal to 1, right? -2 and the other 0 is 1. And then if the zeros are -2 and 1, what we know about that then is that the factor is x plus 2 to make the 0 be -2. And we know here the factor is x minus 1 to make the 0 be 1. Okay, then the multiplicity tells us the -2 is the multiplicity of 1, and that's the degree of the factor. And the 1 is the multiplicity 2. Okay. Usually, I just wrote this equation, or this problem, usually they will also tell you it is a degree 3 polynomial, just to confirm that you have the right number of zeros. Okay, so you can see that this is a degree 3 polynomial though. Okay, well that would be great as an answer, except we actually don't know what the leading coefficient should be. We don't know what's happening out here. So we're going to put an A for that leading coefficient, and we are going to need to solve for it. Okay. So the way that we will solve for it is using that y-intercept as another point on the graph. So if the y-intercept is -6, then we would know that the point on the graph that we know about is 0, -6. Okay, so that means we can plug in 0 for x and -6 for y, or f of x. Okay, so let's do that. So f of x is -6 equals a times 0 plus 2 times 0 minus 1 squared. Okay, notice that our only variable is a, so now we can find that leading coefficient. So this is -6 equals a. Now this is 2 times 1. -1 squared is +1. So it's just a times 2. Okay, so divide both sides by 2 and you'll get a is equal to -3. Okay, so we have our function, f of x is equal to -3 times x plus 2 times x minus 1 squared. Okay, this is a totally fine answer. And what you're going to want to do if you're taking an assessment or answering this in homework is see if they want it in factored form, or sometimes they're going to ask for it because this is factored form and you're done. Sometimes they do ask for it in standard form. If you need it in standard form, you have the answer here, but you need to multiply it all out. You have to FOIL and distribute until you have a standard form equation. So we're going to do that now just so we understand what that means. Okay, so keep the f of x as the function. And then what I like to do, this x minus 1 squared means x minus 1 times x minus 1. So I'm going to write that out first. I don't want to miss any of those terms. Okay, now I can really do this in any order, but I should do it piece by piece. So I'm going to multiply the x minus 1 times the x minus 1 first, because I think a lot of people might want to see what that x minus 1 squared is. So that is x times x squared. The outer term is x times 1, or -1, and the inner term is -1 times x, and the last term is -1 times -1, so +1. Okay, so simplifying that, that's x squared minus 2x plus 1. That's still times x plus 2 and times -3. So let's now multiply x plus 2 times the trinomial here. Okay, So, just try to keep your work organized. You need to multiply the x times all three terms and the 2 times all the terms. Okay, so x cubed, sorry, and then minus 2x squared, and then plus x. And now I'm going to multiply the 2 to everything, so that's plus 2x squared minus 4x plus 2. Okay, and now I'm just going to kind of highlight which my like terms are. So I have a negative 2x squared and a positive 2x squared. So those actually will cancel out each other. And then I have a plus x and a minus 4x. Those are the only like terms I see. Okay, so I've got negative 3 times x cubed minus 3x and then plus 2. And then I just need to distribute the negative 3 to each of those terms. So negative 3x cubed plus 9x, and then minus 6. Okay, so this is called standard form, and our original is called factored form.